Greetings everyone, this is Bakar Korvi from TFT Perspective, and I'll quickly go over the military hardware announced by President Trump as an offer to Moody. This is basically the sale of F-35 fighter jet, which is basically the state of the aircraft. How it's going to affect the balance in South Asia? Is it going to increase the nuclear arms race? What options Pakistan have? And where do we stand? Also, a brief, touch on uh, the Mumbai attacks because now there is an offer by US to hand over Mr. Tawar Sen Rana to India. Interestingly, Tawar Sen Rana was never indicted in US for Mumbai attacks. This was done for a different charge, and he was already sentenced to 14 years in 2013. So that is where it is. There's nothing to do with Mumbai attacks because India feels that they can investigate and maybe they can do some points scoring against Pakistan. The real culprit, in case it is true, the Indian version is David Hadley, who is an American-born, citizen, and he's also restrained by the U.S., but he's not been handed over to Moody. So it is interesting that the one who is considered as mastermind by India is not being handed over, and the second person, Mr. Tawar Rana, is being handed over. There was some point scoring because definitely when there was an offer of handing over, they had to be mentioned about the Mumbai so-called people who are responsible for Mumbai attacks, and somehow Pakistan was targeted. Other than that, I think there's nothing much. But there was also, I think, a lot of discussion before that in the media on what happened in Mumbai attacks or 26/11. Basically, if you read the book by Alice Davidson, Betrayal of India, he highlights that it has been a false flag, or maybe the Indian NIA or research investing allowed it to happen, and then did some point scoring. So, because there were a lot of flaws in the trials, even of Ajmal Kasab and all that. So maybe this will be used as a ploy, in the media to, take Pakistan as a whipping boy and do some, point scoring. Other than that, I think there's going to be no major impact. Now, coming back to F-35, uh, as per Elon Musk, F-35 is an obsolete aircraft. Very strange because Elon Musk now basically holds position of the boss of the Dodge or Department of Government Efficiency. And if he says that it is junk, then probably there are some things very serious about it. There's also a latest comment by Zen Technologies head Mr. Ashok Atuli, who's an Indian, that F-35 was basically a white elephant. Now, why is that? One, of course, it's a state-of-the-art aircraft. It's fifth generation. It's one of the leading aircraft, no doubt about it. But it's really a white elephant. Look at the cost of its maintenance. If you fly an F-35 for an hour, you spend $36,000. That's the cost of flying for 1 hour. For 1 year, the maintenance cost is closer to $6.5 million per aircraft, and each piece also costs closer to $118 million. So, in case you are buying 10 aircrafts, it means that you are spending more than $1 billion. If you are raising two squadrons with, let's say, 36 plus some reserve 40 aircrafts, then you're looking at $4 billion. So, one is, of course, you spend so much money. What happens to India's indigenous program of Tejas, which even their air chief has mentioned that yeah, they have not been, delivered, the promised, let's say, consignment. So, although it's going to start affecting Indian indigenous production also, there are also reports of a lot of crashes suffered by F-35s not having a very good air safety record. And then, of course, is India going to annoy Russia, which has an offer of a Su-57 aircraft also? But the major factor is that two Indian Air Force have pilots to fly such aircraft. Like if Abhinandans are flying it, and you don't have, basically Air Commodore Noman or Group Captain Hassan like pilots, the PAF has. What's the use of these aircrafts? India spends more than $80 billion a year on defense, and if you look at the performance of the military in Swift retort, they lost two aircraft. Abhinandan coming here, then paraded down through Wagah border. They lost almost 45 to 4600 square kilometers in a skirmish with China, Ladakh in eastern Ladakh in 2020. So that's the performance of the military. What is happening in Manipur? The military is not able to control fighting between Christians and Hindu, which is now almost taken more than 1 year. And here we are looking at Indian military trying to, buy military hardware, so-called state of the art, basically in the perception domain. In South Asia, there is a nuclear deterrence which exists. There is no question of India trying to, let's say, up the ante. We have seen it in after Swift retort. India tried to, convey a message that they could do some missile strike, and Pakistan said no, we fire everything that we have. So that's how it works. Pakistan also has this conventional capability. If you look at induction, possible induction of a J-35, which is again fifth generation Chinese aircraft. And in case people had doubt about Chinese technology, we've seen their ships, we have seen their aircraft carriers, we have seen their cars, we have now seen deep sea. So they are beating the West in every field. So don't take it lightly. Then, of course, Pakistan has a possible joint, program with the Turkey of the Khan fifth generation aircraft, again state of the art. So these are also, I think, going to be in the field very soon. So maybe India can try with this white elephant of F-35. I don't think so. There is going to be result better than what happened when after Balakot strike and Swift retort. So all told, interesting times, and let's see how basically Indian military flies these aircrafts. Are these going to be pilots like Abhinandan? Then we are not worried. Thank you very much.